What is going on, Reed Nation? Welcome back to the channel. It's been 2 weeks. So before we get into the video, let me explain what happened. My channel was hacked for a second time, and I was struggling for God life trying to get it back. Like it took so long to get it back. Usually, I wouldn't say usually, but the last time that it happened, I was able to get it back maybe like within a few days, but this took me like a week because YouTube wasn't responding, and when they were responding, they weren't responding correctly. And I was like, I thought it was it. I prepared my civilian life. I prepared my civilian life. I was like Toby off of Spider-Man 2, throw everything in a trash can, let's go do something else. Raindrops keep falling on my head. That's how I felt, right? But we got it back, thank goodness. And I wanted to explain that to you guys, and we're back with another video. So this is a video from Hit Films. If you guys haven't seen Spider-Man Brand New Day,
please exit off this video.
I've seen it twice in the movie theaters. I thought it was a phenomenal, great movie. I gave it an 8.9. I did think the last movie was better, and my opinion is because it had all the Spider-Mans in it. If the Spider-Mans weren't in it, it wouldn't have been good. But this one right here is probably his second best movie. It felt like a reboot. It felt like a completely different movie, and I think it did save you know, his series. But anyways, title Brand New Day, say Spider-Man. Now let's get into it. If you guys have it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 30,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Here we go.
Guys, it's fucking 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm supposed to see Brand New Day in a few hours, and I just keep hearing shit. And I think someone's in my apartment.
Okay. The following tape was discovered at Alex's home.
I don't like it. Tell Tom Holland I'm sorry.
He said, tell Tom Holland I'm sorry. I'm weak. CEO of, bro, what? Dog, bro, his scenes are hilarious, bro. Shouts out to Spider-Man. Spider-Man Cup. Shouts out to my mom for making it. What is that? Spoiler. There we go.
Hey,
you ready?
how you doing?
Save me, MJ.
Please.
I hope you're doing well. This movie should not work. On paper, Brand New Day is a Spider-Man movie where the main villain is also a fan-favorite X-Men character being set up for future movies. On paper, Brand New Day shares the exact same problems that MCU Spider-Man has always been plagued with.
What the?
A studio contract that seemingly mandates that Peter will always need a supporting cast of Avengers and fight for independent screen time and his own story. On paper, Brand New Day is the 8th movie featuring this Peter Parker where he's still learning the lessons it took the other Spider-Men 30 minutes to learn.
Are you afraid that I'm gonna turn into some kind of criminal?
Hey, look at my background on my phone.
Brand New Day on paper should be the final nail in the MCU Spider-Man coffin. Rip Bozo, he could have been so great if they only let him.
You ever feel like people just never meet the
Rip Bozo on paper should be the final. Brand New Day on paper should be the final nail in the MCU Spider-Man coffin. Rip Bozo, he could have been so great if they only let him.
You ever feel like people just never meet the real you?
Maybe it's time you went back to Queens.
All this to say, I'm as shocked as you are that I genuinely, with the utmost sincerity, absolutely loved Spider-Man Brand New Day. To me,
and I felt like the reason why it was loved is because you finally see the struggles of Peter Parker. Throughout all of his movies, you didn't really see the actual struggle. You know, besides him losing a suit to Tony and all that, you didn't really see the struggles. It seemed like everybody was just helping him. But this time he kind of really had to figure this stuff out on his own. It reminded me a little bit of the Batman movie in a sense where he really had to play detective on his own, which I thought was pretty cool because that's how Peter is, you know?
it's not just so easily the best MCU Spider-Man movie. To me, it's one of the best MCU movies, period, warts and all.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Okay.
This is the greatest day of my life. This is the
Valid
greatest day of my life.
take.
Justin Daniel Cretton and Tom Holland have taken the watered-down, practically neutered rendition of the character that I've spoken about way too much, and finally allowed him to grow, allowed him to not just be the silly
Shouts
kid
out
who's
to the new
butt of
director,
every
too.
joke. but to be the relatable, down on his luck, self-sacrificial, all too human icon that we love, that we see ourselves in, that we aspire to be. I fucking loved it. But before we dive further into the tangled web of Brand New Day, it's a brand new darn day in the exciting world of today's sponsor, Marvel Strike Force, which currently has this massive Webs Assemble Spider-Man event running until August 27th. Marvel Strike Force Live, which means a brand new each and every enemy with the perfect pose before smacking them with the Spidey 1-2 the grind and start with the Marvel Strike Force.
All right.
Feel confident.
And there's an ad. That's what I get for trying to skip his ad.
Imagine being able to
oh my gosh.
Just by
if only they had YouTube Premium at a cheaper price.
A complete AI.
Where do I begin? Let's start with Tom Holland. Despite the internet sentiment, I've never blamed him for any of the Home Trilogy's sins. If you go way back to the start of my channel, you'll see me rave about how good he was, how emotional he made me when I first saw him walk into his apartment with a dumpster dive DVD player and web Tony Stark's hand to his crammed bedroom door.
Didn't miss my train. This perfectly good DVD player was just sitting there and algebra test. Nailed it.
Tom has always seemed like a king and always clearly cared, and I fucking love the fact that he gets to be unleashed here. He gets to play Peter so drastically different here than he has in the past. Not since Civil War have I felt the New Yorker element, the wise-ass element.
All right, sorry, my bad.
I always knew that he could and easily should be able to nail the character, and here he gives an all-time Peter Parker performance. Whether it's the Queen's accent he gives certain line reads.
Hey, you guys are the professionals. I'm just a volunteer.
I'm so glad
dude,
the suit don't look
got this guy
like
back.
Hey, buddy, I think you got this.
For the first time in years, I laughed at his lame quips because they were delivered with a slick conviction, a confidence that never comes across as arrogant.
Let's end this on a high note, huh?
It's not just that, it's the contrast between Peter's somber stillness and Spider-Man's slick movement, or the underlying element of pure yearning that you can see even through the white lenses that he has in his eyes every time he sees his lost friend, his lost love. Every time he makes the choice to withhold, to self-sacrifice, to bury, to hide his very big bleeding heart. It's pitch perfect, man. I knew I was in for a great time when I was tearing up 5 minutes into the movie during the montage when Peter relegates himself to a dusty attic apartment, watching Instagram reels of his past life, ordering Little Caesars pizza for the 4th time this week. He's literally me.
Pizza.
Not caring about the key to the city he just received because he has no one to share it with. People think I was hard on the Watch trilogy. For years, people have called me a Raimi shill and thought I'd be offended. You're a hack! I'm here to tell you, I wasn't hard enough.
Misery, misery, misery. That's what you've chosen.
Oh my God.
We could have had this all along. And yet, it took 8 appearances, a whole trilogy, and despite that...
That is... Bro, when I tell you that is the craziest thing to think about, it took how many trilogies? 8 trilogies for this man to get the right movie. And I blame the director they had originally. It's not even like he said. It wasn't Tom's fault, bro. It was the director, bro. They tried to make Spider-Man goofy. Like it just not saying he was goofy as in a sense like his movies weren't good. Like all his movies were great. Like they're great in his own rights. But we want to see the struggles. We want to see what he can overcome. And most of these movies, he didn't really overcome anything like he did in this one, you know. So I agree on that one. I don't know why it took so long, but like I said, they changed directors, and this director knew exactly what he wanted to do. He said, "Man, we gonna get to that nitty gritty. We gonna do it right." You know.
The many sleepless nights young me had reading the hate comments, I stand by everything. Turning Spider-Man into a John Hughes high school comedy is a great idea. Homecoming had so much potential, so much that I loved, but making Spider-Man more interested in the approval of a billionaire warmonger turned billionaire superhero than he was in understanding why the individuals wronged by said billionaire warmonger superhero wanted to get even.
Why are you telling me this?
Fucking sucks, man. Making Spider-Man reject the Avengers invitation is a great idea. Choosing to stick to his working man roots and not become a class traitor is essential to the character, but fan service won because in the very next appearance he is wearing the ugliest thing I've ever laid my sunken eyes on.
Yeah, that suit
smells like a new car in here.
Only to go on an inconsequential Disney Channel road trip movie where his big emotional moment involves realizing that he does not need to have access to meta glasses that allow him to order drone strikes in order to be a hero.
What do you think? Oh,
Only for the creatives to realize that they had created a character that is essentially the antithesis to everything the audience originally loved about the struggling down on his luck forever lovable loner who never gives up despite the great pain he will always face. So in a desperate attempt to make $1 gazillion, brought back the 2 Peter Parkers that were allowed to have the traits of Peter Parker, to teach this new Peter Parker that it's okay to be Peter Parker, which he can only really understand the weight of once another Peter Parker's ultimate enemy kills this Peter Parker's Aunt May, ending the journey in a place where this new Peter Parker ends up exactly where he was when we first met him 10 years ago, rendering the whole trilogy a weird social experiment in how far you can bend a beloved icon until he breaks and becomes something nearly unrecognizable. Whew. My point is, I will never view this film as the endpoint of one long character arc. That is a terrible way to view movies, to view art. It's not always all a part of the plan.
Our first 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies was the first act of Sam Raimi's Spidey movie, right? That always was the intention when we were going to do it.
The Watch trilogy and his appearances in Infinity War and Endgame was not one long Surf Dracula Spider-Man story. It was a series of movies that, as they went on, in my opinion, of course, started to feel like plastic polished, safe, sanitary, stale, stagnant, sauceless sludge that forgot what made Spider-Man special.
It's really nice to have a level of that, like, positive reinforcement of like, oh, you didn't completely it up, you know?
Another ad, bro. There's like a lot of ads.
And now it's very, very, very clear that Tom Holland knew what made the character special all along. He just finally has enough sway and influence to show us that. I was nervous about Destin Daniel Cretton, not because I was unfamiliar with his work, not because I didn't think he could do a good job. Short Term 12 is a literal study in the pain and trauma of young people who feel entirely alone and left behind, and Wonder Man turned out to be the most soulful, risky MCU project possibly ever.
Bruh. No! I like Wonder Man.
I know the man has sauce, but Shang-Chi, dude, despite some very solid creative ideas, felt like all the potential magic was short-stopped in service of conforming to Marvel's idea of a comforting tone.
Beef. Because that's all you have, right?
Spider-Man, despite the last decade of live-action movies, has always been a character that needs a strong visual identity. It's a dream job to bring your own sense of style, of camera movement, of personality to the myth of Peter Parker. True. But I'm happy to say that I truly think Destin brought the full Daniel Cretton to this. You're going to hear a lot of recency bias raves about how it's the best action in a Spider-Man movie, best swinging ever, and that just ain't true.
Norman's on sabbatical.
They literally don't make them like they used to, and that's not even an expression. They just don't make them like they used to, in the sense that instead of filming in New York City, they spend millions to recreate New York streets on the backlot, in the sense that the VFX team had double the time back in 2014 to create Mark Webb's opening swinging sequence than they do now. That sounds like I'm hating, but it's quite the opposite. I'm so overjoyed to say you can feel Destin's touch here. I'm so happy that within the confines of the way the studio likes to make these movies now, Brand New Day feels like actual hands were involved in hammering down the sets, tossing the trash bags, crafting the graffiti. Actual stunt artists were swinging from these buildings, doing backflips. Actual voices were involved in crafting the blockbuster art, and the beauty is that you can, for once, hear them. There's this one shot stuck in my brain where Peter's on the phone with the wolf, played so brilliantly by Liza Colon-Zayas, my girl from The Bear.
Beautiful, you know?
I love that relationship so much, dude. It felt so authentic, it felt real, like the fact they call each other dude.
Oh, what, and we're not connecting?
Nah, dude.
Jesus Christ, man, finally, Spider-Man connecting with someone other than an Avenger.
Fucking heard you! Shut the fuck up!
Anyways, he's on the phone and he gets an alert and runs out of the store. Simple thing we've seen 1,000 times, but I love how Destin and cinematographer Brad Pollock go full handheld as he runs out of the store. Not post-effect handheld bullshit to simulate an indie film, but genuine shaky cam. The camera operator is just going to try to keep up with Tom Holland as he books it.
That was hilarious. We was laughing in the audience,
before you're going to transition into that huge CG swinging sequence. You can feel that human touch, which should be a given, but it hasn't been whatsoever, especially when it comes to arguably the most human superhero. Directing isn't just about scale, it's about balance, and Destin absolutely elevates seemingly mandated material with that human touch. In theory, I should fucking detest and be ranting about a shoehorn scene where Peter has to strip down to talk to Yelena in a bathhouse she calls her office.
Yeah, that part was kind of wild.
On paper, it reeks of the same disingenuous fanboy bait we've been subjected to for so long.
Some motherfuckers still trying to ice skate up here. Peter, it's me.
You remember?
I'm Peter, but I'm not your
Dang.
What the hell is going on?
I'll explain everything, but first, can you help me stop this guy?
Okay.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Nostalgia. Just
But the way the moment flows here is great. It's actually funny. It's not annoying, and her cameo serves a purpose narratively.
It did.
Peter is no longer offended he's not in the cool kids club. He doesn't need her to offer him a membership, and she's perfect, maybe the perfect, fundamentally imperfect Avenger character to have him interact with. We just saw her throw herself into her work, self-isolate, and only find peace through sharing her truth, her pain, with someone who desperately needs connection. And look, man, I was dreading the nerfing of Frank Castle. How do you take this eye gouging, always about to pull the
Frank had me
Netflix
crying,
character we
bro,
spent
especially when he
50
was fighting
plus
the Hulk.
hours with, and make
It
him
was
have
funny.
a meaningful relationship with this Spider-Man?
Nah,
Turns
their
out,
connection
the
was
best way
on
to do
point.
it is to just let the actors riff, let them find the truth in the absurdity.
Right.
Frank here is not only hilarious, not only the worst version of what Peter could become, but also a source of great emotion. My big fear was that they were going to waste John Bernthal.
What's up? What's going on, Feige?
Run his deeply raw performance as Frank Castle through the comedic spin cycle of regurgitated bathos dishwater, leaving an empty shell of a character left for us to chuckle at.
What's going on, Feige?
And yeah, is it a little weird that Peter is buddy-buddy with a mass-murdering psychopath? Yeah. Do I think that Netflix Frank would be far more hesitant to shoot a teenage girl? Yeah. But do those things take away from the tangible chemistry and joy I felt watching them share the screen? Nah.
No deals, no guarantees.
That moment in the hospital at the end, dude, the genuine smile on Peter's face, on Frank's face,
Like,
the
you crying?
laughter, fucking dude, perfect. Like, I was
That
emotional.
one part was funny.
Even Mark Ruffalo, who has not been allowed to like actually be real since the first Avengers.
You want to know my secret?
Yeah.
Let me know if you want to know how I stay calm.
I think he's getting rebooted soon, though.
Gets to be authentic here. I love how Peter isn't just Mr. Bannering him. Peter knows what he's talking about and is.
Hey, speaking of Hulk, did y'all see the concept art of how he was supposed to look? Dog, they went straight comic book accurate. Like, it was incredible. And I was like, dang, I wish they would have done that. Now, mind you, Hulk was originally supposed to be gray, but they did not do that because I feel like they said something about it wasn't going to look right, or the fans wouldn't have. Man, fans know this type of stuff. They be assuming that fans don't be knowing what's going on. Most of these fans do. When we go to the movie theaters to watch these movies, most of us, we've seen the comics, we've watched the cartoons, we watched the previous movies. We know what's going on. You can tell by where the audience. First time I rent, my first experience when I see Brand New Day was not that great. The second time, I could tell there was a lot of comic book fans or people that are fans of Spider-Man and Hulk and Punisher were in there because we had a great time. We cheered, we laughed, we cried. You know who the fans are when you go to these movies.
Seeking guidance, he can keep up with the science lingo and yet make his own choice without needing to consult. I love that maybe, finally, hopefully forever, we got rid of Professor Give Me a Dab so I can stomach one of the great actors memeing for $10 million Hulk. And we got the true Hulk back.
Finally.
Brief. It was nice. I felt things.
Damn.
I don't know if it's just me, but I love thinking that Hulk, not Bruce Banner, recognized Peter Parker and somehow wasn't affected by the fucking Doctor Strange spell.
He couldn't have been. He wasn't on Earth when it happened.
An entity within Banner
I mean,
recognizes this
he
young
wasn't
man
Hulk
as
when it
someone
happened.
He briefly fought alongside. Savage Hulk is great because, of course, Peter needs to see what someone who lives with an entirely different kind of monster in his blood goes through. The extreme panic Banner feels after an episode, the fear, just like Pete had when he nearly killed that cop. The genuine terror that there's a monster inside that will take the life they both swore to protect. My point is, this is how you make cameo slop not feel like cameo slop. You make each character serve not just a plot purpose, but a narrative purpose. You make New York feel like a lived-in place where Punisher is driving his murder van a few blocks down for where Bruce Banner is trying to keep the beast inside. It feels like a lived-in Marvel universe where anything is possible in the best and only authentic way that leaves you excited for who Peter could share a scene with, instead of dreading what poor fucker they will drag onto the set next.
I hate ads.
I'm glad we could all play today.
They say tennis is
I
great
bet
for
I don't
remembering
even have
you can
many ads on
customize
my
and save
videos.
hundreds on car
And look, I've never bought into his relationship with MJ. I've been vocal about that.
Wrap it up. You both like each other, we get it. There's no new ground being broken.
That's not the fault of Tom or Zendaya. That's the fault of whatever clown decided the way to make a compelling relationship between arguably the most famous comic book couple was to have Peter start crushing on the girl who had 3 lines in the first movie.
My friends call me MJ.
Off screen.
Really like MJ, man, okay?
But here, even if I really do wish that MJ had more to do, had more interests and passions that are unique to her, that aren't just being able to out-science Peter or Ned.
Porn.
I think that the palpable yearning that Peter has retroactively makes me feel more for these two and their love than I ever had before. That moment on the roof when he believes she remembers everything is so tragic. Tom Holland acts his ass off. He grips and holds on to her touch like it's all he's ever dreamt of, all he has to keep going, and you can feel the utter pain betrayal when he realizes it's all a farce, a twisted game that Jean is playing. And the choice, which I really hope they stick with for a while, to have MJ not immediately remember, not immediately be in love with Peter again, is played so well. I love the maturity of which that scene is directed, the confidence, no music, no need for a stupid joke mid-scene. It was so silent, everyone in my theater was so locked in that you could hear a pin drop.
You mean everything to me. And I've been trying to live my life without you, but I can't.
I wonder if that's the scene that Tom Holland was talking about right here.
Well, we were shooting this scene, and I said to her, I said, do you think that this scene is working? And she was like, I don't think this scene is working at all. Like, what we're supposed to feel, we're not feeling it. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna rewrite this scene with the writer, Justin. We came in the next day, we reshot the scene, and I'm so glad that we did because it sings in the movie.
I love that Zendaya brought on, who I believe to be the film's secret hero, Justin Kuritzkis, aka the dude who wrote Challengers, aka a king.
Sorry, I just wanted...
It's like I don't know who you are.
Challengers was not a bad
because
movie.
Seemingly, you take a very generic, overstuffed, messy, cameo-centric plot that feels like something the writers of the Home trilogy would have cooked up.
Peter 3, sure.
but imbued that plot with so much character and so much heart. A simple scene of MJ being kind enough, curious enough to invite Peter upstairs to meet Ned could be and would have been played purely for laughs.
Hot one out there. Would I be the hero I need today?
Bro, I see that ad, bro.
Here, the way it's directed, the way the dialogue is written,
bro,
it's deeply tragic, man. When Peter says this is the most fun he's had in years, we know he means it. There's not an ounce of irony to it.
Are you kidding? It's like the most
Dog
fun I've
been
had
in depression
years.
mode for what, 4 years on this movie?
I'm not gonna lie, I may have shed a few tears, which is absolutely fucking magical because I have detested nearly every single Ned scene for the past decade.
It's cool. Great, it's just some random guy. Boy's a man. Thank you, Mr. Cape, sir. Porn.
I really hope they bring Justin back as the solo writer for Spider-Man 5, because if I had to guess, the moments that shine in this film were penned and recrafted by him, Destin, and the cast. The grace of Brand New Day is taking a stupid-sounding MacGuffin like VMAX, which all of us believed was an actual device. Some
We
kind
really
of Infinity
thought- I
Stone,
did too.
adamantium,
I really did
vibranium,
too.
Fuckaminium.
Adamantium.
And
thought it
turning
was
it into
something,
something
you
so
know?
simple yet entirely meaningful. VMAX isn't some ace in the hole. It isn't a cure-all or a weapon of doom. It's a torn logo of an air duct that Jean Grey's sister was forced to stare at, to look up at while she was experimented on, tortured. Perhaps that duct was the fantasy of escape, the sliver of hope for Sarah that she...
I don't think it's exactly like that. I think Sarah's, the reason why she said, so I think before she died, I think when she looked up, the last thing she saw was VMAX. And that's when she gave the message to Jean. I think that was the last thing she saw before she died. That's what my take is. It just, that to me, when I thought that in the movie theater, it was more impactful to me, you know, so.
He could be free, and the sliver of hope for Jean that she wasn't entirely alone in this world. In this movie, Spider-Man doesn't just fight ninjas because it looks cool. He not only drops one of these...
See, I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Not because I have to be, because I choose to be.
Yes,
because
sir.
It sounds cool. It all works together somehow in support of Peter and his journey. To me, of course, this Peter Parker has always been the biggest corporate shill, and so it's so nice and perfect that his fatal flaw in this film is trusting the suits, trusting damage control, trusting that they would do the right thing just because on the outside they seem put together, they seem like they have the people's best interest in mind. Only to realize that instead of blindly trusting them, he should have been focusing on the young girl who is lashing out at the world because she too has suffered a great loss. She too feels so different, so rejected, and so alone. Jean and Peter are two sides of the same coin. She's the darker version of the person he easily could have become after May died. And instead of subjecting us to another final battle that we've seen a billion times over, the storytellers remember that the best Spider-Man moments, the ones we always and always will come back to, are the ones where Peter's empathy is on full display. I love that May scene, man, for so many reasons. It's nice to have her actually act like Aunt May again instead of Happy Hogan's love interest.
Just feel so dumb. I didn't realize you were miserable.
And it's a brilliant payoff to everything the movie has set up. Peter has been allowing absolutely nobody in. He's afraid to. He's afraid they will get hurt. He's afraid they will see he's a monster. He's afraid they will see that his all too human heart is broken. But now, the only way he can stop Jean is to let her in, let her fully in, let her see all that he's tried to hide and hear the guiding words, the grounding force he has held on to.
No, Peter, you listen to me. You have a gift.
Bruh.
You have power. And with
Stop
great
messing with
power
my emotions,
comes
Hit Films.
Great responsibility.
Man, we in the movie theater, bro. We was hurt when we seen
his
that.
mom, a mother figure that we know Jean never had, a source of comfort that we know she longs for. What makes the moment so beautiful to me is the fact that the scene doesn't just end with May telling Jean, Peter, to hold on to yourself, hold on to hope despite the shitstorm life will throw at you. It ends, the threat, the rage, the despair is brought to an end with Peter himself telling Jean that she's not alone. Peter, in his own words, telling her that it might, just maybe, be okay. She just has to continue to try, even if it feels impossible, to keep holding on when there is seemingly nothing to grasp onto.
I have no one.
You have me.
Bruh,
Is
them
Brand New
scenes,
Day
man.
perfect? No. Is it Spider-Man? To me, finally, yes. And it's hard to find something new to say with Spider-Man that hasn't already been said so beautifully before, but I believe the fresh idea lesson this tale has to offer is the notion that in our modern age, life moves so fast, too fast, and within that rush to the finish line, we lose the inner child that was once so pure, so full of optimism, of hope. The isolation that comes with growing up tries to take that sincere heart we were all born with. And sometimes, maybe you just need to sit on a beanbag and play with Legos in order to feel like the world, life, wasn't always so bad, wasn't always so damn heavy. To feel like, to remember that yes, there was a time when your biggest worry was figuring out where, how, why you fit. The great thing about Spider-Man, the enduring thing, the thing I've spent hundreds of hours talking about at this point, is his ability to teach us the strength that comes from the struggle. And finally, for the first time in a long time, that struggle isn't just paid lip service, it isn't just the iconic deaths, the magical multiversal losses. For the first time in so long, we have a Peter Parker whose struggle is as real as it is relatable. It's never been about the gadgets, it's not about the toys or how many you can sell, it's about a young man standing in a crowd of people cheering his alter ego's name, chanting it because he saved them, he inspired them, he gave them a reason to keep going, cheering Spider-Man, Spider-Man, having no clue that the all too human Peter Parker is standing right next to them, among them, smiling at a kid, pretending to spin a web, sharing a moment with a child who very well could, who very well will grow up and struggle to find a way, a reason to make it to morning, to dawn, when life's tragedies can feel so all-consuming. Sharing in that small moment despite the crowd, despite the fleeting hype, the hoopla, however brief that moment, that child's smile, maybe that's the reason to wait, to hold on and fight through the night for those first morning rays of warm sunshine. The reason to hope for that brand new day.
Yes, bruh. Hit Films is on point with it, bro. Oh my gosh. Hey, man. And speaking of the end, man, Hit Films, man, your videos are always amazing. Like, I would say some of the best Hit Films videos that I've seen is definitely around the Infinity War and Endgame time frame. His videos was really good. Like, all his videos are good, but man, those were so in-depth. And all his Spider-Man ones are so in-depth too. I personally think as well that And you could tell Tom Spider-Man throughout the movie didn't realize how important his Spider-Man character, him being Spider-Man, was until the very end, where you see everybody cheering for him when he was in the hospital, like about to lose his life. You know, that really hit me really on the nail. Now back to some conspiracies that I was going to mention. I didn't mention it in the video yet, but a lot of people thought he was gonna get the black suit. I'm so happy he didn't. It would have been too much on the film. We seen how films are when you put too much in it, and it does seem like there was quite enough in here. Glad they didn't do the suit yet. Now when he was dying, I thought they were gonna kill him off. That's when I immediately was like, are they gonna do the black suit? This is too early. He's most likely gonna get the suit maybe in Secret Wars. I don't think he's gonna be in Doomsday because they got too much going on. But then again, I don't know. But overall, this movie was phenomenal. 8.9 in my opinion. As I went back and watched a lot of the old Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, I realized that the biggest flaw is having Iron Man as a mentor. I personally think it didn't work the way they wanted it to be. Instead, it became a joke. It made Spider-Man look like a joke because it seemed like all he needed was, he kept trying to get like Tony to help, like to do the work for him, and the gadget suits don't work. Now this suit works because he created it himself, but like all that stuff, like what made me upset, and I never mentioned this, but Peter makes his suits. Nobody makes his suit. So when Iron Man was making his suits, I was like, yo, like he should be making his own suits. He'd be doing his own stuff. I think he relied too much on the gadgets. He relied too much on Iron Man, and I think that was mainly his downfall throughout a lot of these movies. But now that we finally got this fully solo film of him struggling, him making his own suit, yada yada yada, it works. And I hope the next movie does the same exact thing, but even better. We can only hope that he's gonna be maybe possibly in Doomsday or Secret Wars. He's gonna be in some film or capacity in the future. Who knows what film is gonna be? But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video I post. We're back. Renation, we're out. Deuces. One love, one love, one love. Peace. Catch you guys later. Stay cool. Bless them out.
Say ya.